That way if people watch the replay. Okay, hi everybody. It's Danielle. We've got 3 directors here, so I'm going to have us all introduce ourselves really quick. I'm Danielle Johnson. For those of you that are maybe watching and you're new to the team, this is my full-time job. I have been doing this for a little over 11 years, and I'm an executive director. We've got 5 directors directly underneath me on my team, and then underneath them there are 2 more, and we're always looking for more. And I know some of you on this call, you're looking for that. You want to be in the $500 club. Some of you are like, no way, I don't want leadership, and that's okay too. But we just love kind of telling a little bit about our journey. Really brief, keeping it to the best that I can, my little 30-second commercial. I joined for financial reasons. That is the number one I can say reason I joined. I really thought I was going to be a kidnapper, thought I would grab a little bit of money at Christmas time, paid the mortgage and kept paying the mortgage month after month. Realized this was actually fun. Who doesn't love to get paid to party? And realized that it was really flexible. So the idea that I could have financial stability, have fun, and be flexible. And it was a side gig for me at the time too. I was cleaning houses and all kinds of other things at that time. Little by little, I was able to take away all of those things. Didn't have to clean anybody else's toilets. Actually got to start having a cleaning lady of my own at one point. And here I am today as a full-time thing. So it can truly be for anyone, whether it's just that one-time hit, like thought I was going to join, whether it's I think I would like to do a little bit more and pay for some of the bills, vacation, all the things. So that's me. That's how I got here. Tracy, I'll let you go. Tracy's going to be helping with this meeting today too, just to kind of set, since this is January, kind of set the tone too for the year. With all those directors that I just told you we have, there are 2 of us that are going to lead every meeting. So you're going to see different faces leading all the meetings. They're going to do it based on, some of them are teachers and have time in the summer and right now on Christmas breaks and not other times, and some are on the road in semis, and most all of them have full-time jobs and all the things. So just be aware that it won't always be me. It'll be or Tracy, it may be Heather and someone else, or maybe me and someone all the time. So we love to share with you guys. You're in good hands with all of my directors too, by the way. Like, there isn't one of them that isn't capable of it. Tracy, go.
Hi, I'm Tracy Hyde. I am I'm a director with 31 too, and I've been with 31 for 5 years. 5 years. I just absolutely love it. I actually joined it was more of a, like, I was a kidnapper. I was kind of like, why not, kind of situation. Finally, I was partying all the time, and I was in Danielle's clubs, and finally she was like, and I was sending all my people to her, and she was like, yo, you know, do you like money? Basically was the trick. And I was like, oh, yeah, I do, in fact. So
I literally said to her, I was like, do you not like money?
yeah,
The
yeah.
amount of parties she had and the money that I was making off of her, it was insane.
So it was kind of it took, I won't say I went kicking and screaming, but she had to ask me a few times. And I'm glad though that I took the leap. I became a director in 2020 during the pandemic, which I thought was not going to be possible. And I've just kept going. And so for my team, who's I don't see anybody here, but hopefully you'll catch the replay. Hi, Team Courageous, yay! Yeah, that's really.
Let me ask you, what's different with why you joined versus why you stayed? Do you have a difference there?
Yeah, actually. I joined just kind of like, well, let's just have some fun, right? Like, I'm gonna get this kit, and I'm gonna get some free stuff and some discounted stuff for a while, and then I'll party till I don't have any parties anymore. 5 years later, I still have freaking parties. So but I stay. The first time I went to Impact, the national conference, I was just in awe at all of the women and men who were rooting one another on. The hots blew my mind. I was like, husbands of 31. I was like, what the heck? And I just thought that was it was crazy. But the biggest thing for me was 31 blew up my self-confidence. I have a YouTube presence that is not like, I'm not top of the line. I'm not getting paid for my videos or anything like that, but I have the best time going live and doing videos and putting them on YouTube for fellow consultants to use and borrow if they like, or just like for my team. I do stuff for my team all the time. And I never, 5 years ago, that never would have been me. And so the confidence that being a 31 consultant gave me, I think, is a huge difference.
And I've had the privilege of actually knowing Tracy since high school. So I'm going to ask her, would 16-year-old Tracy have ever thought that you would be going live and going YouTube? Like, what would she have actually told herself then? Like, what did that look like?
I would have said, you're effing nuts.
Right? I knew there would be maybe an appropriate word in there, right? Like, that's how much
because you know me. Right. No, actually, probably 16-year-old Tracy, it would have been like
yes.
you wouldn't have heard me.
Yes.
You wouldn't have heard me. I was that person in class that would get called on and they'd have to ask me 6 times to repeat myself. And finally somebody next to me would go, she said, you know.
Right. Well, we're so glad you stuck around. I know for your team joining us and or watching later, I know they are too. And all of us that have been blessed to have you as a director here. So we've got Heather and Tammy really quick too. I want you guys to introduce yourself briefly, just because you are directors and I want them to know and see your faces. So Heather, will you kind of tell us a bit about yourself and why you joined and stayed?
Absolutely. So my name is Heather Curtis. I joined in 2021 under Shannon, one of our other directors who's not here this evening. And honestly, I'm sorry, I don't have very much of a voice today. I joined just because of the free products. I had gotten a great kit at a great deal, and my launch was huge. And then my sister had a party for me, and every time I opened the door, it was like I was getting more and more free stuff that 31 was sending me because I was reaching, those rewards, the AMP rewards. Ultimately, I have stayed because yes, I do enjoy getting the extra paychecks, especially when they fall in between my regular paychecks for my full-time job. And that extra money has come in handy. But honestly, I think one of the biggest reasons I stay is that I love the people that I've met. I have become friends with my customers, people that I would have never met otherwise. And I mean, we talk all the time, and it's not just about 31. Renee is here. She is my 001. She was my very first person that joined about 6 months after I joined. Jessica is here. She is one of my newest consultants. Jan is here. She just joined under Renee. Michelle, my friend from the dental office that decided to join, and Tara joined a few months back as well under Renee. So this is like Heather's dream team is here.
Right.
I'm super excited to see everybody. I think I have one or two of my other teammates that are supposed to be joining us as well. But honestly, I have just really enjoyed getting to know everybody, whether they're on my team or, they're in my VIP group. And it's just fun. I mean, I love the perks. And those perks being the people, honestly. I mean, the discounts are great, of course, and we've got new discounts that are starting that I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy and be able to take advantage of. But I can't say one bad thing. And I'm still here. One on my third.
Relationships are huge. Customers, hosts, your team, and that is so awesome. It just goes to show what a great job you're doing leading already, that you have that many people here. That's really, thank you. I can't see faces. I would love to see faces of all of you, but those of you that are joined here because you're interested in supporting Heather, that's amazing. So Tammy,
yes, and I love them all.
Tammy, can you get on? I don't know, or do you have kids in bed and things? Tammy might not be able to get on. She might just have to listen. It's bedtime. Oh, there, I see she's unmuted.
Hold on.
Oh, we can kind of hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I'm trying. I'm having connection issues today. No.
All right, it's okay. We'll move forward. We just know that sometime we want you to lead too. So I just wanted them to get to know you, but we'll do it another time because it was kind of cutting out. Okay, I am going to share screen. All right. Okay, so bear with me. You guys can see that, right? Can you see the agenda now? Yes, perfect. So we just did our intro. We are going to do some recognition up next. The recognition that I'm doing, we actually pulled from the last 6 months. So if you've only been here for a little bit, then you're included in that, but it might not be the full 6 months. If you have taken a break, your numbers might not look the way you want to, and you're back at it right now. There's going to be all kinds of different reasons, but this is the entire lineage. So when I talked about at the beginning, having all of those directors, you're all included in this. So we're going to do that. We're going to do a really quick recap of the call from Cindy that we had this last week. For those of you that were on it, we're going to dig a little deeper into that. So we're not going to just talk about, some of the things that we talked about, but we're going to kind of dig into, maybe get some hows and some ideas, and we're going to brainstorm together with what some of those things can look like. We're going to talk all things January. Hopefully you've looked at the Jump into January event already. If you haven't, make sure you do that right away after this, because there may be things that we're going to fly through assuming and you might need to go back and look at that on the event page, or go to TOT and look at all things January under marketing, that sort of thing. We're going to dig a little deeper. We did talk about the give back on that call with Cindy the other day. We did not get that launched. We apologize. Tracy and I just kind of had too many irons in the fire this week. But that doesn't mean we can't do it and still do it. So we're gonna just kind of retouch on that a little bit. We're gonna dive more into the $500 club, which we also talked about on Cindy's call. But with that, again, we're gonna brainstorm. How can we get $500? Because a lot of you are like, yes, I'd love to be in the club, but how the heck? I haven't been hitting those numbers, or what do I do? And then we're gonna, last but not least, we are going to talk. Tracy has, again, on Cindy's call, really talked about going live. And so we're going to take a challenge, all of us, to kind of go live. But we're going to talk more about what that looks like, and what do you talk about, and what do you do, and kind of get some ideas and brainstorm together with that. So with that said, though, we've got to do some celebrations. And Tracy, I forget already, we may have to bring this next week. We talked about snaps and claps. That was a few weeks ago. What the heck did we come up with? So
I don't remember either.
I think maybe if I verbally process it, it'll come out. So like if we were in person right now, we'd all be standing, okay? And we would be clapping. And so you sit down when you are no longer, like, so if I say, stand, we're all going to stand, and I say, okay, stay standing if you had 200 in PV, and you're going to stay standing and everybody's going to clap. And I say, stay standing if you've had 500 PV. Well, maybe you only have 3 something. So then you sit down, right? But everybody keeps clapping. So I think we said something like, if you're still standing, you're going to snap. So like if you see your name on the board as we're kind of going through this, you're going to snap for yourself. So go ahead, unmute yourself. Let's see if we get feedback. If not, we're going to clap. If we get feedback, we'll change it. But we kind of want to have fun with this. So, all right. So top, can you guys see everything? Because I've got all kinds of screen shared. Okay, just want to make sure. So look at that top there, Tracy. Hi, we celebrated her with $17,596 in the last 6 months. Not far behind, look at these directors. Tammy Brinker with $14,217. Heather Curtis with $12,348. Another director, $11,502. Kristen Burns, $9,885. Shannon Sawyer, $8,258. So those are all leaders right there. We got a few more leaders we're going to come to, but I have to tell you guys, because I can't not tell you this. So we all get 25%, right? So do the math. They got some nice commissions in the last 6 months. But I have to make sure you all know that as a leader, when they hit their stats, and they've got other things they have to hit, but they get an extra 10%. So for like Tracy, what would an extra $1,750, because she's a leader, look like for you in 6 months, right? For even Shannon, $825 extra in 6 months, right? So just something to think about there too. All right, I'm not going to give all the numbers, but I'm going to go down the line because I know some of you are here. Casey Teeters, Gresha Wolf, another director, Kathy Reichert, who I know also we're going to be celebrating her in a little bit too. She's newer. Kim Kellerman has been around forever. Melissa Belt, Renee Jaco, look at you. I know you're on the call. Jen Ford, Lacey Jones, Roxanne Shemwell, Cynthia Trevino, who I know is always still pushing. Ashley Moore wants to be a leader and can't be here tonight. Jennifer Garfalo, Kelly Radar, who also has been kicking booty in all areas. Mitzi Ship, Tammy, Kristen, Nicole, Lisa, Renee Chesley, Brandy Brown, Denise Miller, Cheryl Freeman, Patsy Robertson, and Mary McClay. So those were the top 31 in personal volume. I know if we clap, it's going to get feedback. I know. Team volume. This is anyone who has someone underneath them. Again, I'm not going to go through all of these because we'll be here forever. But if you've thought about leadership at all, this means that you've got somebody underneath you and you have the opportunity to be making 5% more even on your commissions with an elite consultant, 10% more, let alone getting some percentages off your team. And as you can see, Tracy and Heather and I, and I'll speak for Tammy, maybe helping people. Maybe that's just something that's going to fill your cup. For me, it is literally something that I love and feels
I
like
love it.
I know we all do. Top parties.
Yes.
We are not saying you have to party because some of you are watching this call, you just want sales, and that is okay. We hope you're at least having your own party, but you also can do retail orders and marketplace. As you've seen, I am getting a little bit of feedback. If you guys, I'm almost getting that echo here. If you guys want to mute for me, that would be great. So we just wanted to talk about, still though, it is the number one way to make money. So if you are here to be an earner, you do want a party, whether that's just your own party, booking a couple more, booking lots, like you can see some of these ladies are doing. And you're going to see, again, your leaders are on the top of the board. And that's how it should be. I don't want that to be something that discourages you. I want that to be something that encourages you, because all of them, besides myself, have another job, or at least have. Shannon, I think, is our only other one at this point. Russia too. Shannon started this with a full-time job. She was a leader with a full-time job, and she goes on the road with her hubby in a semi all the time. So can't say enough for partiers. And we've got some of you still way up there at the top. Casey and Kim and Melissa and Cynthia, Ashley, obviously Renee too, you're up there. All kinds of you doing good stuff. Tammy, I see you raised your hand. Got something? Think you can talk?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So before I became a leader, Tracy was like number one everything. And that was my personal goal, was to always catch her. And I remember reaching out to her one day, was like, I'm gonna get you. just because that was my own personal goal. And I did it, and it's just something, and it makes it fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it kind of takes the work out of it if you just make even something like that a personal goal. You know, it makes
And
it
it
fun.
doesn't have to be us at the top. I
Right.
see like Renee and Cynthia, I see you chatting sometimes, get together and chat in Messenger. I see you chatting in the Lineage group, right? Reach out to each other. Maybe that's the person that you're going to try to kind of have a friendly competition with. And I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not forcing that, right? But I'm just saying, those of you that we continue to see on some of these calls and we know you're working, that may be your first person. And then you move up and then you're like, okay, now I got to beat that person. I see her up there all the time, whatever that looks like. But yeah, when Heather and I first started, oh my gosh, we're best friends, but we were still cutthroat, man. We were like, there were times it was like dollars and $10 away from each other, always competing, but it made us better. It made us work together and do that. So thank you so much for sharing that. That is definitely a huge part. Okay, next up, top in sponsors. Again, this is for those of you that you are wanting some of those bonuses. You are wanting to move up. Look at you. Even if you have one on the board, I'm so proud of you. And even if it doesn't mean you want to move up, even if it's just because you shared, because you love this enough that you know someone else might just want it for the free product, might just want it to get her nails done a couple of times, might just need to pay the bills after Christmas with a credit card, whatever that reason is, right? Like, pat yourself on the back if you made this list at all, because you are sharing something that is lovely. I will add here, this is something that, especially for those of you that are here, I always love to add a few things that maybe you weren't supposed to know yet, or that hasn't been made really, really huge. So we are going to have a $24 mini kit coming this week, starting the 11th. Yes, so we're going to have the opportunity to be sharing it. It's a super simple kit, easy to remember. The $24 is for 2024. So for that number 24, we'll do a fun little opportunity event, probably Monday or Tuesday. I think Tracy and I would have to look at the calendar. We set the calendar, but it's one of those days before the 11th that I'm going to bust that out for you guys. Super easy. So you have a reason to share again, right? And if nothing else, those of you that are on this call hopefully know about sliding down the mountain. If you don't, please write that on your notes and make sure that you ask me to watch that video, or if you need a recap of it. If nothing else, it's a reason to reach out, you guys. It is the number one way to book parties, is to actually start with something else. Okay, whether that's an organic personal thing like Heather talked about early, that's not even 31, right? But leading into 31, it's not just, hey, do you want to join my team? It's, hey, I thought of you because I know that you've been buying from me every month and I would love for you to make money with that. Or, hey, I thought of you. I know that you and I went shopping back in November and you and I both complained that we didn't have money for Christmas shopping. Or, hey, I thought of you. I know your kids are in soccer. My kids were in soccer and I know that is super expensive and I don't, you may need some extra cash, whatever that looks like, right? There's a reason that you're doing it. We're not saying just be gross and message everybody and their brother, but share it with people and find reasons to share it. Okay, I won't go into that huge, but I did want to give you guys that sneak little peek. This is something that's super fun and we want you guys to be proud of as well. I think we have quite a few here on this new list too. I think that Heather's got a few in these, yes, that are here for their AMP rewards. So this is huge in itself. If you are joining and getting any of these AMP levels, that means you're here, you're doing something, right? You're getting rewarded just like Heather talked about, and it's going to suck you in. Hate to tell you, this is the pink lemonade right here. This is the pink stuff right here that you get paid and they give you free stuff. And again, if you want to be a shopper, you do you. If you're joining because you want that 40% off discount and you just want to save money on your stuff, totally get it. You do you. But if you want to make money at all, my number one goal for you is to not spend any money. My number one goal is for you to earn this stuff free. 31 is giving us a $500 incentive for all consultants on top of this AMP every single month, you guys. On top of, you can always have your own party and use those free credits. Use the half offs if you must, right? Buy the monthly super cheap. They're $20 to $30 to $40, whatever, if you want to. But truly, I cannot stress enough, do enough to just earn stuff free or really, really discounted. Don't spend. I want you to make money and not spend your money. All right, so this is the 300 level. We've got a whole bunch that are still on here for that $500 level. And knowing that our AMP, if some of you are joining, our AMP has changed too. So this is the people that have joined in November or sooner than that. We've got 700. Look at the list is barely even getting smaller. I love it that these are all just still hitting it. The $1,000 level. So many of you still on this list, and I think still going. Once we get to that $2,000 level, I think we've got a couple of you on here, right? Who did I see? Heather Lacey, Roxanne. No, I can't see everybody on here right now.
Was Kathy here?
I don't know. Kathy's Tracy's, right? Did Kathy make it here? No. Okay.
There might not be any of those here, but I know Jessica's getting super duper close. So I'm really
to the next level. Yay. Here's
Yes.
the $3,000 level. And then the coveted top level was Kathy. So yay to Kathy, who I know will probably watch the replay. She has been rocking it. So things did change in January with your AMP now. And I don't have the math figured out off the top of my head. I do. Oh, Mary just hit 2,000. So she wasn't on there last night. Yay, Mary. Yes, we pulled these a few days ago. Yay, Mary. So for those of you that are just joining, or if you do recruit anybody, there are not all of those levels. There is just one level now at $1,000 level at $1,000, but it's super huge. It is a credit of, what is the actual credit? It's so much credit, but it's worth so much. It's worth 300 and something because you get to use it in your marketplace on business supply with your 40% off. So I want to say it's worth 300 and something, but the numbers are not sticking in my head what they are. I did post it in that jump into January. So just know that that is still huge, alongside of, like I said, they're giving all consultants every single month that $500 level too. All right, so we are going to talk now a little bit. Tracy, I think, is were you looking for that number? I was going to say you don't have to. It's okay. We're going to talk about the Lineage give back that we are doing, and we really are looking forward to this. I'm going to give the mic to Tracy on this because she has made these graphics, and she's got. Oh, I was going to have my little guy ready. We've done these before. We talked about it briefly with Cindy's thing, but we're going to just kind of talk about it really quick again for those of you that are on here and we're on here the other day. So go ahead. I'll give you the floor.
Oh,
tell me
okay.
when I switch too.
Okay, no problem. So it's a fundraiser, but it's a give back. It's however you want to work it. And the I guess the big and the small of it all is that we're looking to have our shoppers help sponsor some little carry-out caddies for senior citizens. So caddies for seniors, that's what that means is little carry-out caddies for our senior citizens. We have a couple of local senior citizen centers around here that we have donated to multiple times. And basically it looks a little bit like this. So a little carry-out caddy, doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter. Like I put on here on this slide, in the outlet sale right now, those neon ones are $9.99 a piece. But the charcoal is $19 and you can bundle and get 2 for $30. So that's a really good savings. But essentially we just fill it with cute little stuff, funny little hats. You think of our senior citizens are they just need some extra love, and this can really go a long way. We stuff them with things like with lotion, socks, handheld games, maybe like paddle ball or something like that they might have fun doing, or even like a game book like word search or crossword puzzles or even Sudoku, whatever you think. Stuffed. I have a stuffed animal in this one because this is like an old one that I had. Color books, lip balm, and I also have these Dippy. You guys know, like anybody drive a Jeep, right? You get the little cute little ducks, right? I have all these little cute little holiday ducks. But just something fun. And what's funny is Danielle and I were talking about this, and Oriental Trading is the place that we talked about. I've also stopped through Walmart, and Walmart has this wall of like stickers and finger puppets and all kinds of stuff in their Valentine section, because you buy a buttload for the kids, right? Like I'm a school social worker by day, so yes, I buy all that stuff and candy and give it to them. But so what we were thinking with this particular thing is that Danielle and I are going to reach out to our local senior citizen centers. And so if you're not local to us, like if you're not we live in Shiawassee County in Michigan, if you're not local to us, find out what is near you and try to set a goal for how many you can raise. Sometimes you can't do it all, right? We can't do it all. But we have a handful. Well, we have a large population in our area of consultants too that would be able to get into this. We were talking, if you can get one sponsored for $20, so you reach out to your VIPs, your past hosts, your best hosts, right? And see if you can get $20 for each little carry-out caddy. And then you saw the pricing for them. Then we're going to stuff them with about $5 or $8 worth of stuff. And we're right. And then and sometimes we use our commission to kind of help. That's where it's a little bit of a fundraiser. Like we're helping to benefit others, not us. That's the give back part of it too. So,
and it's a choice too with that part of it. Sometimes Tracy, I know, has mentioned too, like you may open it up. Does anybody have any of these things local that wants to donate, or would someone like to go to Amazon and just send me all of some fuzzy socks? You'll get people who will want to do things like that as well. So it just depends. And same with the caddies. It's up to you if you want to, as far as the party goes, like you'll get the free and the half off. Do you want to take advantage of those hostess credits for you? There's no judging if you do, because I want you to have free product in your hands. Or do you feel like I have enough product? I'd really like to get more little carryout patties and keep the commissions, right? There's all kinds of ways. That's why we set that number at 20, knowing that you can make money still with this. If that's what, if that's all you want to do, we understand there's no judgment there. Or if you're just like, nope, this is a major fundraiser for me, I want to give back my commissions too and stuff them and do all the things, you'll have more than enough. So there's all kinds of different ways that you'll be able to do this. And we will get an event going, I promise, this week on this. And who's to say after the outlet sale, there may be some little carryout patties on there. I can't promise you, I have no idea, but we always have our online extras too, or something similar. We may see something that's just as cute and, a decent price that you could be stuffing zipper pouches. There are other options. I know Tracy has been working on graphics for us though, so we will have graphics for the little carryout caddies, obviously, because she's kind of done some there too. So, and this is a great way, which is going to segue into, we talked about that $500 club, right? Like we're all trying to get to that $500 commissions every month to hit some things. And why are we trying to get to the $500 club? We are trying to get there, one, because a lot of you on here, you do want to be earners. So that's at least $125 paycheck, assuming it's not all fundraisers. 31 has told us all year long, every single month, they're going to give us some type of free product for that $500 level. As a Lineage, we are doing something fun too. If you did not see the bracelet incentive, yes, look at it. So Tracy's showing you what you want to earn right there. It's so gorgeous. So we're doing a fun bracelet incentive. If you've not seen it on the Lineage page, make sure to check it out. And it involves hitting 500. It involves connected contacts, which we're going to talk about those a little bit today, as well as just participating on the Lineage page. Again, I'm not going to go into huge details on that, but I do take, if you're taking notes, make sure you go check those things out if you haven't seen them already. So let's get into some action, because we need to get our hands on some of this stuff. So let's talk about getting to that $500 level. So we've talked already about having your own party a little bit. This may be another thing that I'll give to Tracy here in a second, but we'll see. We may piggyback off of this. So I cannot stress enough, even if you just joined in December, I don't care if you just joined midway through December, you need to have a new launch right now with a new catalog. Always, you guys, always, always, always. When we have any type of new catalog, any type of new product, even an outlet sale, and I'm not just talking a party link in your back office. We want you to have one open every month, right, to collect orders. I'm talking an actual party, whether that's in your own VIP customer group, whether you set up a customer group or a party page and you have it alongside of your host, or you take advantage of our Lineage customer group if you're not aware of, okay? And we are giving you that opportunity this week to pick one of those. Tracy is actually going to lead. If you're on Team Courageous with Tracy, she's doing her own mega party with her team, but she has also graciously volunteered to put that same party in our Team Lineage customer group. So you literally have no excuses right now, ladies, not to have your own party. I've also posted it for those of you that just want to have your own, you're a do-it-yourself kind of girl, and you need to have one in your customer group or somewhere similar. I've posted a link that gives you all kinds of different parties to pick from. So if that's the case, I want you to shout out in the comments. If you're doing it yourself, I want you to tell me how you're going to do your party. Are you doing it Team Tracy because you're on her team? Are you doing it in the Lineage customer group with us, which is starting, do we say Wednesday or Thursday that we're starting that? Thursday. Wednesday?
Pre-post start Wednesday.
Start Wednesday, ends on the 15th. And we're strategic about that because by the 15th, if they spend 100 on their customer account, which is super important, then they're going to get $20 to spend in February. So we're trying to get as many orders and parties as we can by the 15th, which makes you green by 15, gives you a paycheck on the 25th, right? And it just gets you kicked off for the new year. So tell us in the comments where you're partying, whether it's with us in the Lineage group, on your own, or with Tracy. And if it's on your own, I'm holding you accountable. I want to hear the dates. If that week doesn't work for you or something different, then I want to know when. So that's one way that's going to help you get towards that 500. Those senior care give back is another way. Let's talk a minute about connected contacts. because that is a requirement that we're doing for that bracelet. And I know some of you, I just posted today the training, but I know some of you are actually, and I'm going to stop sharing for a minute. Some of you are very familiar with connected contacts, and some of you are not. So I would love, if by chance, looking who's on the call, if any of you, Renee's already $18 away from that $500. Woohoo! We got to celebrate that. I would love any of you that are not a director who are familiar with connected contacts go and tell us what works for you as a connected contact and or what a connected contact is. Do I have a volunteer that would love to do that? I know Renee and Cynthia are on here. Even Sherry, I think you might know what they are. Nice work, Heather. Heather, get past hers too. All right, I'll open up.
I will. Well, I'll discuss the connected contacts because admittingly enough, I got away from doing them a couple years ago, right after I started. And I just so you guys know, go to the training playground. Any of you who have not, excuse me, go to the training playground and go in order. Okay. On your own time, but just keep at it. I will admit, I did not tell Tara, Renee, Becky, Jessica, any of my people about connected contacts because I wasn't doing them anymore. So I apologize, ladies. But what you want to do is set a goal. Danielle usually says 15 a week. You want to send personal messages, personal to the people that you're sending them to, of course. Let them know how excited you are to be with 31. Let them know about upcoming sales or whatever it is you want to contact them. Connected contact is only counted if they reply to you. If they say no, that's fine because you're going to get 98 no's out of 100. Okay. So if they say no, that's great. Ask them if it would be okay if you can follow up again with them in another few weeks or next month. If they say they want to do a party in the spring, great. Our next catalog comes out in May. I will definitely contact you just before that next catalog comes out and we'll get you booked. It is a really good way to make contacts. And I did mine the other day and it's been a long time, like I said, and I got 5 replies and I sent out 30 messages.
And that's about average. Yep.
It happens. It
Especially
happens.
for the
Don't
first
take it
time.
personally. Yep. Don't
Especially
take it personally.
for the first message. Give it a couple days and
Yes.
message again, and you'll
Yes.
pick up a few more of them.
Yep.
And message 10 more people while you're at it.
Absolutely.
Yep. That's about par for the course. People are busy. How many times do you reply? Or how many times do you have intentions to reply? Or, it gets lost in the messenger, that type of thing. So yes, the key is that they reply back to you. Even if they tell you no, it counts, right? But it doesn't mean you can't still carry on the conversation, just like Heather kind of gave you some examples, right? Remember sliding down the mountain, but also remember all the things that might be happening, right? Because maybe we're going to slide in a different order because right now you might, if you're still sending some messages out when we get off of here, depending on your time zone, it might strictly be about the outlet sale, right? But then later this week, you're going to be like, and there's a new catalog if you didn't know, right? Like there's always going to be reasons. There's that $24 kit that we just talked about. There's organizing. There's a new insider special every month, right? Like there's an organizing one this month and next month it's different and so on and so forth. So yes, 15 is the average. 15 is the goal that we're doing for the bracelet incentive. But I will tell you, this job is flexible, as you guys heard me talk about at the beginning. And I am the first one to tell you, I don't do 15 every week, but I do 60 a month. In fact, I normally do a few hundred a month, if I'm being super honest. But I do a bulk of them probably twice a month, not every week. That's how I work. That's just my ADHD brain, even that does deep dives when I do things, right? Some of you may need to say that every Thursday I'm going to message until I get my 15 connected contacts, right? Some of you may just say, I'm going to message 10 people a day, all 5 days of the week, and pray I get 15 out of those 50, right? Like it's going to look different for all of you, how you do that. So we're okay with that. That's why in the bracelet incentive, I have said I'm posting it every week for you to stay accountable and post where you're at. by the end of the month, we need to see 60 total. So that's what we're looking for it to count for that incentive. And that's going to keep you consistent some way, shape, or form. Whether your consistency is what you do a month or what you do a week, we're okay with that. I think I see a few comments too. I'm going to make sure. Cynthia says she sent out some messages and got 5 so far. Tammy's saying that she's the same way. So yes. Okay, so let's talk about next. What are some ways that you, whether you put it in the chat or you want to talk about it, what are some ways to get connected contacts without them feeling completely like they're cold? Who's got some ideas for that? It can be directors too, by the way.
Danielle, you said ways. You broke up on me, and it might be my connection.
Ways that you can feel that you can have. So we've talked about some different reasons how to message for connected contacts. We're looking for as many ideas as we can to message people. What does that look like? Where are you going to find some of these connected contacts without feeling like you're messaging the same people over and over, or that you have different things to talk about?
I know one, I'm messaging people just to follow up on like maybe they ordered a few weeks ago and their stuff shipped. I'm shooting them a quick message and telling them to be on the lookout. What are you most excited to be getting? And then I also, when it's about time that they should have it, I remind them that they have a 90-day guarantee to check all those zippers and buckles and all that kind of stuff and see if everything looked right when they got it, that kind of thing. So those are a couple of ideas.
Those are great ideas. Love them. Who else has some ideas on what's going to just start the conversation with you so you have a reason to start messaging? And you're going to go organic from there, right? Like she's going to start there, but then she's going to pop in, okay, what's going on with 31 right now that I want to tell them about, right? Maybe it's that $24 kit. Maybe it's the outlet sale. Maybe it's the new catalog, right? You got all kinds of things that you're going to keep sliding with, but that's how you can start the conversation. What other ways? Well, where else can you find those connected contacts organically where they're a little bit warm at least, or hot, like we'd like to say, as opposed to just cold? Because nobody wants to just do cold if we don't have to. Tammy, yep, go for it.
I check my email reports. I check them, I think, twice a week, I think. And then I send text or emails to people that click the links, whether it's like a consultant link or a link containing to a sale, and just tell them, hey, I was thinking about you, there's a sale going on, or have you seen this new product that we have, or there is a consultant an enrollment deal that we have going on and I thought of you. So something like that.
Yep. So what she's talking about, if you go to your virtual office really quick, I'll just give you guys a really quick peek of this. If you go to reports, you're going to see right here, maybe it's called email activity. If you click on this, this is actually the emails that 31 has sent on your behalf. So if you go ahead and click on one of these, it's going to give you some of those details that it sent. So for me, you're going to see that 3,596 went out. 63 people clicked on it. Okay, now it's going to go into even more details. New arrivals, it's going to be about new stuff, shopping the outlet. These people opted out, so I lost 5 people. 2 people clicked on the link. Okay, these details are great, and those are going to go into Tammy's conversation. But honestly, these people who just clicked means they were interested, right? How many of you open an email if you're not interested? Because I sure as heck don't. I ignore the bejeebus out of a million emails that come into my inbox every day. If I at least clicked, I'm like, oh, what do they got? What's their sale? What are they doing? Right? So they're super warm, right? They're not hot, but they're at least warm. Okay. This is breaking it down as well. And as you go a little bit further, it's not going to tell you. It's just going to say it did there, but it's not going to always tell you, but that's where you're going to use some of those inserts. You're just going to say, hey, Claudine, you're not going to be creepy and tell her that you got an email that she clicked on your email, right? We're not creepy. You're just going to say, hey, Claudine, I was thinking about you. I might have to look Claudine up, right? I might not remember who she is. So I may have to go back into my order history even and be like, oh, she ordered on Jessica's party back in April, right? And so I'm going to say, hey, Claudine, I know you ordered back in April, and I've just kind of been thinking about some of my people from spring, and I just wondered if you had a chance to see the new catalog yet, right? I mean, it's super simple, right? Where I'm at least not creepy, but I started the conversation with her. All right. Somebody commented in here. So that was a perfect one, Tammy. That's something. Haley said, I do general posts, totally random things to get responses, but they have to do something to do with something with that you can use a 31 reference and start the conversation about their response and then move it into the business side. Yes, that was another thing that I was going to suggest. Whatever you are posting in your customer groups, on your personal profiles, in your parties, right? Anything that you are posting about, if you are not taking it to Messenger, somebody else might be. That's what I'm going to say about that, right? So that's where it gets into, I am not about us competing. I don't want your customers. I don't. Tracy doesn't want your customers. Tammy doesn't want your customers. Heather doesn't want your customers. That's how it happens. That is the number one way you're going to lose, because a lot of us are messaging and we are doing our job. That's how it happens. Not here to be mean and yucky about that. I'm just speaking the truth. It's not any different than if you've been going to your hairdresser every month for 12 months and you've never told her that you sell 31, and then you go and you show up and she's carrying 31 and you're like, she didn't get that from me. You don't get to be mad because you never told her, right? So it's the same thing. And we don't want that. I do not want that, but there are going to be crossovers, right? There's just going to be, whether you live in the same community or like Tracy, for instance, not only do we live in the same community, she told you she partied with me 50 million times, like legitimately. So those people are getting my emails and her emails, right? And so if she's not messaging and I am, or vice versa, right? Like if they're like, however it works, okay? We don't want that, but this is what she just touched on. Is it Haley or Haley? I can't even scroll to see. Haley. Yes.
Haley.
Haley. That is one of the best ways. I mean, those are all great ways, but if you're taking the time to post, you have to do something about it. Do not just post and pray. I'm telling you, if they're commenting and they're doing things in your customer group or even on your personal page, they know what they're doing, right? They know you sell 31. That is a hot lead. That is not just warm, that is hot. If you put this or that and they said this, and you're not showing them how much this costs and how they can get it free with a party and all the things, right? That's just silliness, okay? All right, any other, those were my main ways. Anybody else? Yeah, go, Tammy.
Okay, so today, I was messaging just some random people in my VIP group. And I went to people that I don't usually see participate. And I said something like, hi, I'm Tammy, your 31 girl. And I just wanted to thank you for supporting, thank you for being a member of my VIP group and supporting me in 2023. And then one girl, I guess she had been looking at the stuff in my group, but she'd never commented. And she asked me about the outlet sale, and then she placed like $100 order.
Yes.
So I was like, okay.
And I would, okay, so here's another example that there's part of me that first wants to be like, yay for you, Tammy, you did a cold lead, but she didn't. It's still warm. If they're in your customer group, they are warm. They joined that for a reason. They liked you. They like 31. They want to follow you. Not everybody comments. I am probably the world's worst commenter, to be honest. I'm a scroller. I scroll and scroll and scroll. I don't ever heart and like and comment on enough things, to be honest, which doesn't help my Facebook algorithms either, because we're supposed to. But I just don't think about it, right? So it is super important that you still tap into those people. Love it, Tammy. That was a great example. Tracy's got her hand up. Go for it.
I wanted to also make a comment. So if all of y'all, the new folks who are here with Heather, congratulations. And everybody else. So we do our Drive to Director and Accelerate programs, right? And I remember in the first Accelerate program that I was in, we talked about, that was where I learned about connected contacts. And I remember Julie and Mark, who were like our leaders for that, had said that you can get a connected contact in person. So are you a walking billboard? I carry my 31 everywhere. I carry it to work. I carry it to the store. I shop and scan at Meijer. I'm doing all the things. And I'm going to tell you what, my transit tote, I have gotten more compliments on that bugger in the last week when I went back to school, because people are like, oh my gosh, because I told you I'm a school social worker. Well, it says SSW and then it says Mrs. Hyde underneath it. And I have teachers and I had a speech path ask me. I mean, people that I work with are like, what, where did you get that? And I'm like, oh, and get this, it's antimicrobial on the outside, so it's the outside of this bag is not going to bring home all that gook. I can't tell you how many people are like, okay, give me a link, I want to look, I want to check this out, I need to see. And I'm like, here's my little mini catalog and take a peek at it. That is a connected contact also, don't forget.
Yep. And it's super duper important though that you get their information some way, shape, or form, right?
Yeah,
that's what I'm going to say makes it a connected contact.
Right.
Whether,
and these are people, yeah, people
so
I work with, so I got it.
Whether you right then and there friend them on Facebook, had them get into your customer group, took your app out, had them type in your email and your phone number, like there's multiple ways, right? It's not creepy. They either will or they won't, and if they won't, they won't. That's okay too, right? Some of you, I know you have your QR codes already ready on something that they can scan and do, but some way, shape, or form, you're collecting it right then because you have to be able to follow up, right? Or it's not a connected contact.
Right. Yep. And I tell them, I'm like, oh, hey, let me give me your number and I'll send you my link right now. I do that.
And I always say, I promise I'm not spamming you. I'm not going to be crazy. I'm just going to give you my customer group. I'm going to tell you some specials, and then you're going to have choices from there, what you want to do or not do, right? Because that is unfortunately what some direct sales. Speaking of direct sales, Cynthia has another great way, another reason to reach out to people. She knows people, she said, that sell jewelry, want totes for transporting. We are, with personalization, we are #1 with branding, you guys. There is not another direct sales company out there that can brand other direct sales and other multi-level marketing like we can. Now, we have copyrights, and sometimes we can't write the word actually Tupperware, but there's all kinds of things around it. Sometimes they have their own team name. Like for me, I like being called gift giving gal, right? So there's all kinds of things that they can still do. We could be bag ladies, right? If we were in their situation, there's all kinds of things they can do. But who doesn't love to be all matchy or just be super organized when you're going to and from your vendor events and your parties, and they love it. So yes, that's another reason to reach out. Those are all great ways for getting connected contacts, you guys. Thank you. Some of you went above and beyond, even ones I didn't have on my list. Okay, we're probably going to run a little bit over. So hopefully, if those of you have to go, you've got to go. You can always, this is being recorded, so you can always watch the end. I like to hold these to about an hour, but I do have a couple things I really want to still talk about. I really still wanted to talk about how to get to that $500 level with you guys. So we've talked a lot about connected contacts. So hopefully that's going to help you get parties, get people join, all of those things. But so far, we've only talked about having your own party and working on those donations for those senior care bags. So I'd really like to still brainstorm, and anyone that wants to give ideas besides the obvious book parties and do connected contacts. But I know some of you have some really great things that you do every month, or that you flop in there every once in a while. I'd really like to still talk about some ideas how to hit that $500 level. So let's open that up for some brainstorming as well. It can be anybody, directors, anyone that wants to share something. I'd love to hear. Nobody's got anything? You're all stuck?
No, I mean, I have clubs. Clubs are a fun way to get started. I feel like, especially some of the new folks who might not know what clubs are, it's also a kind of, I always felt like I didn't really get started with them until I had a pretty decent sized list of clientele, I suppose, or people who came back often and shopped with me. But that's one of the things that keeps me going, and I think that's why I hit 500 and why I do it sometimes pretty quickly.
So clubs keep you super consistent. I've got myself a note that I'm going to post the training for that. So I posted the connected contact training earlier today. I don't want to run this over into a huge thing about clubs, but if you don't know about clubs, they are super big way to keep you consistent. Yes, raffles.
Yes.
Bundles are huge. Group orders to save shipping, those are all huge. So raffles depend on state to state, but there's usually quite a few graphics out there. If anybody's seen any for this January, I would actually love to see some. I haven't seen any, and I have one from December that's carrying over into January. We didn't get it finished, so I know I need to post a new one because I have some that they were okay with me, just like they knew if they didn't hit it that we were going to do one in January. Bundles, again, I would love to have time to talk about that, but what I'm going to tell you with bundles is, if nothing else, this is a challenge from Cindy that she's been giving to us, is, oh, perfect. Tammy says that one of the graphics group, the ES graphics group, I think, has the raffles posted. One of the things with bundles is, obviously there are a lot of graphics out there for that as well. But one of the biggest things that I'm going to really push you guys this month and every month is to come up with your own Core Plus 2, your own bundle that you are showing over and over and over again every month. Okay. So it may be your grocery bundle. It may be your Fresh Market thermal, a couple essential storage totes, and a zipper pouch. Why the zipper pouch? Because if you didn't know, you can fit anywhere from 2 to 4 of those in a zipper pouch. I know we have that back of the thing. What's that called, Tracy? I know you've got the brand new one. The thing that goes on the back of the seats, that could be part of it. So what that
utility organizer.
Thank you, the utility organizer. What that looks like is, maybe the first week you're showing all of them and you're showing the bundle price and you're showing how if they buy this and this, they're going to get, it's towards the 50 and they're going to get this half off. Then maybe week 2 of the month, you're showing just the Fresh Market thermal and you're just showing how much you love it and how it works for not only your groceries, but you're showing that your big old crock pot that's in there, right? Then week 3, maybe you're showing those essential storage totes, and not only do you use them for your groceries, but your kids take their winter stuff to school sometimes, when there's snow out, or, your husband grabs them to throw his tools in when he's going over to his buddy's house. I'm just making stuff up. And then you're back to the 3rd week, you're showing them all again, and so on and so forth, right? Or we were on the 4th week already. So you feel like you're like repeating, but you're really not, because they're going to like what you like. It never failed at my home parties. If I showed my Cindy tote with my Benjamin's wallet and my purse, they wanted those. Those were the items that they wanted, right? Like, sometimes that's how many of you scroll TikTok and Instagram and that's what you watch, someone cooking some stupid freaking thing, and you watch the whole process, even though you were like, I already make lasagna, but you're like, now I want lasagna, and you've got to go get all the things to do, right? Like, that's how the brain works, right? As you see somebody else and you see how it's done, and maybe theirs is a little different and it's a little cuter because it's not lasagna, right? Like, theirs is yummier because they add oregano here and you don't, whatever that looks like. It's the same thing with our products, right? It's different colors, it's different things, it's a better price than their Coach purse they're already buying, or whatever, right? Like, there's all kinds of reasons there. But yes, Tracy said be careful about your state's rules for raffles. I meant to say that and I didn't. Yes, super important with that. And I can't even begin to know what each state does, and I'm not even going to legally tell you what I know about Michigan. I'm going to tell you to look into that and make sure that you're doing it right, that you feel is right. So with that, the other thing, if anybody else has any other $500 ideas, share them in the chat because I want to go over them still. But the last thing I really, really wanted us to do is I wanted you to be challenged with going live. So if you saw Cindy's call, and if you didn't, you need to. Tracy talked to us about her going live and her experience and sharing it to YouTube and all kinds of fun things. We are not going to be Tracy overnight. We're not all going to figure out how to post to YouTube at the same time and all of the things, right? That's not what I'm looking for. But I'm looking for all of us to be uncomfortable, right? And going live. I just did it Thursday. I am dedicating myself that every Thursday I'm going live no matter what. I'm going to be in Texas with these ladies on a Thursday, and I'm going live from Texas, even if it's just, hey, I'm with my girls, right? And this is what I packed that you need, right? People will, it's literally one of those things that if you build it, they will come. Your Facebook algorithms are going to get better. You're going to hate it. I'm not going to lie. Some of you are going to absolutely hate it. Use and abuse your kids, use and abuse your pets, use and abuse your husband, use and abuse your best friend, whoever you can. If you can get someone to go with you, if you can't, it's okay too. So I want to talk about consistency matters, Tracy said, and it really does. Her people literally worry about her if she's late or doesn't go live on Thursday nights. They wonder if something's wrong. That's how much they pay attention and they wait. And she's so great in her lives. So I really want you guys, so I took it another level because I'm listening to some things that Cindy talked about. I'm not saying that you have to do this. You can do it wherever you want. I want you to start off wherever feels right to you. But for me, Cindy really talked to us on an upper level call about our VIP groups being wonderful. Don't get me wrong. If you can get them there, it's a great place that you're building community and it's fun and it's a place for them to be. But if you're looking to build and you're looking to get more, it's a closed place. Okay. You have to still go email or go text or go message or go party somewhere else to bring those people in. Right. So she challenged us to use other social platforms. Well, for me, I was like, my other social platforms are, and I've got to do what Tracy did and I got to build it and I got to learn about it and I got to do the things. But the social platform that is still really big for me, and it's not just my customer group, is my actual personal profile. Okay, I have almost 4,000 friends, not saying that to brag, just saying that that is the truth of it. But I only have around 18 or 1900 in my customer group. Again, that's huge. I don't want you to look at the numbers. I want you to look at the percentages, because much like a lot of you, I'm sure we'll find a similar, that's less than 50% of my people are in my customer group. So I have a whole market of other people on my personal profile, not to mention Facebook shows some people my customer group, and it shows some people my personal profile, and it shows some people neither, and it shows some people both, right? And I don't know that magic. I don't know that. So I figured out how to post to my personal profile and then either share to your customer group in some of those other places or go live. I challenge you to just go live in your customer group. It doesn't have to be like me, but I'm taking it a step further because I'm taking Cindy's challenge. But I'm really, really, really challenging, and there's probably going to be some happy mail or some type of giveaway. I haven't figured out what yet, for us to go live and to stay consistent with it, whether it's a Monday night or a Monday during the day or a Sunday night. You have to decide that. But I want to talk about really quick, because I know we're past time, but I really wanted to talk about some things. What do you talk about in your lives, right? Some of you are like, what do you do every week? Some of you even are like, how do you make them not so long? Because I'm not going to watch your replay that's 30 minutes long necessarily or longer, right? Some people will, depending on what it's for, if it's a party specifically, that sort of thing. But short and sweet is the best, especially when you're first starting out. I'll give you the first one. I already gave you the idea, was that core plus 3, right? Or core plus 2, right? Those 3 items. So that's one thing we can talk about. What else can you talk about in your lives? Shoot me some stuff in the messenger, in the chat. Tell me. Tracy can give us some things that she talks about, but I'd love to hear from you guys too. What do you think? Is it all 31? Do you always just talk about 31? Bonus points. Who knows what Danielle talked about at the beginning of her live that she just did, because it was not 31. It was silly. Anybody know what it was?
Oh, your Stanley Cup?
My Stanley Cup, right? So I found something that was just hot right now on Facebook and used it and rolled with it and had fun, right? I got my husband's old
That was hilarious.
Electrical taped handle, found the pink straw from our lemonades from the fair. And I had been making jokes about it, right? So maybe there's nothing happening in Facebook that you think is funny right now or that seems relevant, but something about you or a theme, right? Like if it's Sunday, what did you do today, right? Show your fireplace if that's what you were doing. Show your dogs romping around because that's what you've been doing. Show your clean house. Show your dirty house because you needed to clean it. Whatever that looks like, right? Like have fun with it. Seriously, right? Like have fun with something about you when you're doing those lives, because they're buying from you, not just 31. Cynthia said she'd probably have to introduce herself again. You're not going live, right? Yes. How many of your people don't really know you? Of those 4,000 people, do you think I'm like best friends with all of them? No way, Jose. Nope, because it's a lot of people that have been my customers, and they might have been my customers back in 2020, literally, and I don't even remember whose party they were on. Like I said, I have to look it up. So yes, not a bad idea to introduce yourself for sure. Talk about you. Doesn't have to all be 31. Go, Tracy. I can tell you're ready. What else?
Okay, great. So look, I have a Def Leppard t-shirt on. Who's shocked? Okay, if you know me, you're not shocked. And that is another thing in my VIP group. It's who can spot a picture of Tracy in a Def Leppard t-shirt. I just got a sweatshirt from Maurice's, and I'm like, you guys, I have a new sweatshirt. Just wait and see. And they're all like, is it Def Leppard? I bet it's Def Leppard. Is Def Leppard? Like, they can't, like, I'm totally showing my age, it's whatever. I don't even care. But we joke about it because I just come in what I'm in. Sometimes I'm still dressed from work because it's been a crazy day. Sometimes they get me post workout and my hair's up like this and I've got, whatever. Sometimes it's been a day and I got home and I immediately put on comfy clothes because it was a crummy day. And so what brings me joy? Def Leppard. So, and it's funny because I remember, Danielle, before I had even started, one of the things that you did, you asked your VIP group, name 3 things that we know about you. And one of them was, I was like, immediately, snow. You love snow.
Yep.
Like, that is them getting to know who you are.
Yep.
And when they know who you are, and my people know I love Def Leppard. My people know purple's my color. Like, they joke about different things. They're like, but 31's pink. And I'm like, yes.
Yep. I know that I love red. They know that I love snow. Yep. They know that I read books. They know that I like to go outside. They know I have Cocker Spaniels. Like, yes, they do. They know all of those things because I post about it. And I need to go live more. But I post
about it. Exactly.
Yep. Yep. Do you think you need a list of 31 things to talk about as far as 31 goes? I mean, if you go to jump into January, I bet you're going to find at least 5 topics in there. You're going to find the hostess special. I told you about the $24 kit, but there's also 2 new kits, right? There's new prints. There's a new catalog. There's the Core Plus 2. There's our spend 50, get half off. Right now, spend 100, you get the 20 in January. There's clubs that you're going to learn about. There's fundraisers that you're going to learn about. If anything, I think there's too many things. And that's all the more reason you need to go live every week and just pick 1 or 2 of those things. That's it. You're going to make it some type of theme or something about you. For those of you that are uncomfortable talking about yourself yet, that's why I suggest starting with a theme. So maybe in your customer group, you're going to do all things snowmen for a week, right? You're just going to talk about snowmen. Bring back Frosty even if you want. It's not just about Christmas, right? Whatever that looks like. Maybe it's going to be all about warm drinks. Okay, some type of theme that you're going to Google and you're just going to find some things to post about, and that's what you're going to lead into. You're going to be in your cozy little sweater. You're going to, whatever that looks like for you, right? And I'm just giving random ideas. You could do whatever you want. You could do movies, you could do Friends, you could do 80s, you could do 90s. Like, the sky's the limit with things. You could start Valentine's Day already, right? They need to be shopping for Valentine's Day already from you. But that's going to give you something to talk about, something for you, even if you're not as silly as Tracy and I, and you're not into like wearing crazy things. If you're just wearing red or you're just wearing a sweater, it's a conversation starter for you to start talking about you, right? And it can lead into if there's snow in your area, if that's your theme. Because we had snow here for a few minutes today. I didn't get to play in it, right? So that's the conversation though, right? Like, that's how it goes. My favorite drink is coffee, but I'm not a Starbucks girl. That's not me either. I'm totally making this up. But you could be saying, Danelle doesn't like coffee, right? This is Tracy. My favorite drink is tea, right? I love it at Starbucks, or you don't love it at Starbucks, or you get yours at Big B, or you refuse to buy yours anywhere. You make it all at home, whatever that looks like for you, right? And then you're asking them questions so that they're replying. It's really that simple. And I promise you, you're going to end up talking probably longer than you wanted to still. You're still going to, I don't know about anybody else, but for me, I talk too much and I get done. And if I ever am less than the time, I'm like, yes. Like the other day when I went live, it was only 7 minutes. And I was like, you did it. Because I never do that. Like I was like, oh my God. But also, that doesn't mean I didn't still screw up. Because while I was celebrating that, I was like, but you didn't ask enough questions, Danielle. Nobody had to actually talk to you. There's always going to be something. And I always have notes. So there is always something in my hand. I have a catalog. Like the other day, I had the catalog. I don't have it right here. And my notes were in front of the catalog. Sometimes I tape it right there, wherever my camera is, and I have notes, right? Sometimes I let them see it because then they know that they can be me too, right? Sometimes I say, oh gosh, you guys, I'm off my notes. What am I supposed to really be talking about? Okay, not only does that help me be human and relax me, but if you are looking for wanting people to join your job, bug, literally, that wasn't just a squirrel, I swear. There was an actual bug that just landed on my eyeball. I'm like doing this. But that could have happened while I was live, right? And I have to just,
Oh my God.
and they have to see that I'm human because then they think, okay, I really like that girl and I know she seems really confident, but I could do what she's doing. She's using notes. Like I could do that. It's going to take time, right? So in the chat or show of hands, who is ready to take the challenge and go live this week? Tell me what day you're going to go live. And then after this week, maybe you can't for sure pick your consistency yet. Maybe it's going to take you a little bit of time, but you're going to pick a day at least this week that you're going to go live. And then maybe by next week, you're going to set a day like, okay, I think this is the day that I could stick to this entire season, at least, right? Like through this catalog season in April. And then Tracy said, take the survey. What do you come back as? Then share about what you would get and how you would use it. Absolutely. That survey that we have, right? There's a topic to talk about. If you need more topics, because I know we're going over with time, please reach out to us. We will gladly give you more topics. Tracy is like, she's the queen of topics. She's been doing it. I think instead, if you sit and you just brain dump a bunch of ideas that you can talk about, I have a feeling that you're going to come up with more than enough. And I'm going to tell you to scale back and always add more week after week. Because the longer it gets, the less Facebook's going to show it as well. Okay. Asking questions is key. Do not be stagnant at the beginning and wait for a bunch of people. Get going. And just say, are you watching live or replay? Those of you that are replay, it's cool. Give them a question to answer. If you're just joining me, this is me. Just go for it. Go at it, you guys. Because when someone has to sit and wait, they keep scrolling. Okay? They keep going. They don't want to watch you just sit there. Okay? Just go for it and do it. Get a few, my last tip I'm going to give, and I'll see if Tracy has any other ones. When you're first starting out, message your 5 besties and tell them what time you're going to go live and have them be on with you, or 5 people, right? I don't care if it's your husband and your kids sitting right there in the other room. Have them comment and get the algorithms going for you too, right? Get them going so that you have confidence to do that. Play around with it. Be honest. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten my last live I was just on. I couldn't see the comments. I couldn't even see what they were saying. Something always goes wrong. Like, I promise you, you're never going to get off of one and be like, well, that was perfect. Never. It's never going to happen. Tracy's laughing. Like, never, ever, ever. I don't care if I go, while I haven't been doing them consistently week by week, you all know I'm a confident person. I can hop on and do it anytime I want. And I've never not gotten done and not forgotten something. The internet didn't work. The dog jumped in. My notes fell down. I promise you, you're going to keep messing up and it's okay. It's definitely one of those things that anything is better than nothing. Because right now, are your people seeing you at all? Do they see you at all on a regular basis? And unless you are really, really popular at some school, going to all kinds of games and PTO, and you're in like a really, really open world that you're seeing all your people, kudos to you if you are, because done is better than perfect. Because that's another way that you better be tapping into those people live. But for most of us, I don't think we're in person as much as we used to be. They've got to see you somewhere, especially if this is where you're trying to run your business as Facebook and not in person. Okay, Tracy, any other hot tips for live? It's quarter hour.
I would recommend, I did a poll in my VIP group and said, okay, so here are days that I could go live. Here are days and
Yes.
times.
Mhm.
What works for y'all? And I left it up for a week. And I was constantly asking people to take it. I would remind them to take it. We settled on a time, Thursday nights at 8:30. And so then I pushed it just a sec to do, 8:31. And then recently, I was having less and less people show up. So I was like, hey, y'all, I just want to verify what is working for you guys. Let's do this poll one more time. So we shifted it. Actually, it's 7:30 now. And and I'm having more and more people. So it's good. But don't
And
be
you may
afraid.
have to message people at first too. If your group is already dead, a poll might not work. You might not get everybody answering it. So you may have to message your top people that have been participating in there and say, hey, I'd really like to go live, but I'd love your support. I know you're in here all the time. Thank you for supporting me. What type of days, if I did that, would work for you? But that's a great tip, Tracy, for sure, especially as you're getting started. And like you said, you can move it around. Maybe you're not going to be stuck to a day right away. And maybe it's strictly, you're like, nope, they don't get to control it. This is my schedule. This is when I need to do it also. That is okay too. You do whatever you have to do, but that's a great tip either way. I love it.
Those messages to people about when they want you to go live, when they reply, would also count as a connected contact.
Boom, boom, boom. And it's a great way to keep talking. See, we've given you all kinds of ways. Yes. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and recap because we are over. I apologize. Thank you for those that stuck with us. We have some call to action, right? So we did get our hands a little bit wet with ideas and kind of thinking of some things. So our call to actions are our connected contacts. If you're not already doing them, we are really pushing all of you to try to get those 60 by the end of the month. Tomorrow, the first one was due with the first 15, but don't panic because remember we told you that you can have 60 within the month. So if you can't get 15 by tomorrow, get whatever you can and or post them on some of the next weeks. We talked about the $500 level, right? And we're really all pushing for that $500 level, but as a minimum, right? Like I know you all want that as that free incentive and you want that paycheck, but let's get where that's minimum. Let's get for February that it's by the 15th, right? Like Renee, I know you're really close and you're pushing, and I think Heather said she's got it right. Yes, Cynthia usually makes a post for the top controller, but I do a live this time. Yes, perfect. So like the live contributors, her top people, I think is what she's talking about, right? So yes, go live with that. Talk about who's your top contributors that are live even. So our second call to action was getting to that 500. The third one is going live, getting out of your comfort zone, going live. Oh, one last thing, that I do want to touch on, because I know some of you may not have current product, may not have current things. Grab your catalog, grab a picture of something if you have to, and show it. Grab your old Fresh Market thermal, your old large utility tote, show it. Say it's sorry, Charlie, you can't get this print. This is mine and it's not available anymore. Don't be afraid to show those old things and or just show pictures if you need to as well, right? Like there's still ways around that. If you need more ideas with that, make sure that you ask us as well. So those are 3 call to actions. Thank you all for coming. We are trying to stick to the first Sunday of the month will be these meetings every month. So you can mark your calendars through April for sure for this catalog season. One more thing that was on Cindy's call that I don't think I talked about tonight is with that $500 club. Those of you that hit 500, not only are we doing the Lineage incentive with the bracelets, but we're doing a special call. So the first Tuesday of the month, I did secure Hope as our next guest speaker on the February. So anyone who hits 500 in January, we're going to have another guest speaker from home office that's coming, and will be a special call just for you if you're in the 500 or above. So you want to be on that because it'll be some great tips and brainstorming as well. And yes, those could be the people that you message to show up for your live as well. Yes, so you could celebrate them, you could message them to be there, and you can celebrate them for being there, for being those people too, right? Okay, I will quit yakking. Thank you all for coming. Hope you got some great tips. Make sure to message us with anything or any questions that you need. Pictures, yes. If you'd like to be in the picture, thank you, Tracy. Get this chat off of here. Share your screen if you want to be in it.
Not really.
Is Renee trying to be here?
Have no idea.
It'll look like a little camera. It should look like, it'll say stop video, start video, and it'll look like a little video camera, like our old school kind.
I don't know.
Yeah, can you see me?
Yep, I see you. I do, Cynthia. You got your red, looks like a Red Wings blanket. Ah, there's Tara. Some of you are getting on here. Any luck? Okay, we'll smile. Here we go.
I don't know.
Next time, homework. Okay, bye guys.